Hello, Mrs. W here, going to explain how to do some arc length in the area of a sector. So first one, this one's just going to be arc length using degrees and radians. So what I want to say before I start this is I want to show you the Desmos Calculator. If you go up and you see the wrench up here in the corner, you want to click that wrench and you can see that you have a radian and degree mode. So obviously you want to be in degree mode if you're working with degrees, or radians if you're working with radians. So I'm doing degrees first, so that's what I'm going to set that at. So going back to my first problem, I am to find the arc length and find the exact measure. So the exact measure means I'm going to have the pi in the answer, because I'm not putting 3.14 in for pi. So using the formula for arc length for degrees, so arc length, I'll just put AL equals the theta over 360 degrees times 2 pi and r. So then you just substitute in your values. So my theta is 270. So 270 divided by 360 times 2 and pi and r. My radius is 16, so I substitute that in. So going to my Desmos calculator, I'm going to take 270 divided by 360, and I'm going to multiply that by 2 times my radius, which was 16. So I get 24. So looking at the answer choices, now remember I have pi still, so I get 24 pi because I'm using the exact pi, I'm not the value, and meters. So you would see your answer would be A. One more of these. Let's do number 2. Okay, so again I'm using the same formula as I did over here. I'm using my arc length and I have my degrees. So my arc length is 270 divided by 360, I'm finding this arc length here, times 2 pi r. And so I take that and my r, let me substitute that value in, 2 pi, and my radius, I can see is 10. So 270 divided by 360, 2 times 10. So 270, is it the same number? I have to double check my work. I'm second guessing myself here. I know you guys never do that. Oops, it's 120. Huh. No wonder you're looking at me like, Miss Weatherall, what in the world are you doing? It's 120. I can read 120. 120. So 120 goes up here, so 120. That's better. 120 divided by 360 times 2 times 10. So I'm going to change that value up here, try to get up there. 120 divided by 360 times 2 times, I think that value was 10. So I have 6.666. Let me see what that comes up with here. So I get what is that as a fraction? What's 6.666? Because my answers are in fractions, so I know it's going to be one of those. I think it's probably going to be D. So let's get that as a fraction. So 20 over 33, that makes more sense. So notice I just had to look and analyze my answers. So the fraction was 20 over 3. Remember, I did not do anything with pi, so that stays there. So your answer is D. So using that in degrees. Now what about radians? So let me do some examples of radians. This time the directions are saying find the arc length and round the answer to the nearest tenth. So this time I'm going to use 3.14 for pi. So my formula for arc length, if I'm using radians, and I can tell I've got radians if I have the pi there, some kind of fraction there. So that is simply theta times radius. So my theta here is my 7 pi over 4 times my radius of 10. So going to my calculator, I'm going to make sure I am in radians, and I am going to do 7 times 3.14 divided by 10, and it helps if I enter it right. And I think that was divided by 4. And I think it's times 10, I don't remember, because I have a short memory and I'm a grandma. So 7/4 times 10. So 7 times 3.14, put a decimal in there, and that is times 10. So let me see what we've got. Rounded to the nearest tenth, I should get 5.5 as an answer choice. So looking to see what I have. I can see that I have, let me check my answer again. Let me check my math. This is like so crazy. 3.14 divided by 4 times 1. That's times 10. That's why. There you go, 55. Always check your math and your calculations. So putting that in, I can see that it's 55 rounded to the nearest tenth. Let me try another one, see if I can get this one in here right. So my arc length is theta times r. Theta is 3 pi over 2 times the radius of 13. Radius of 13. So trying to memorize this and not looking at something, you wait till your grandma, you see how well you do. So I get 3 times 3.14, so this would be 3 times 3.14 over 2 times, I think that was 13, see I don't remember, let me see, times 13, yep. So let me see what I get, rounded to the nearest tenth. I get 61.2. So looking, and you can see, and evidently because pi is like 3.14, the rounding could be a little bit different on your calculator, so you could see that it's 61.3 miles. Thanks for bearing with me through my going back and forth between Desmos and this. So next I'm going to show you area of a sector.